So one thing I've like to emphasize to students when I was a substitute teacher is that you don't have to go to college to make money and have a good career or even a satisfying job. Um, People pay contractors, people work on houses who do drywall, who do ceilings, who do framing of houses and everything. They make good money. A lot of them really enjoy their jobs. So I've had this issue here for a while, and you can see there, this is above our fireplace. So you can see where it's peeled that board there. You got some peeling right here of the tape for the drywall tape, and you can kind of see some coloring there. That's water. So I looked through to see what it is, and I think I found a solution. I've actually finished it all, so I'm pretty sure it's it. But one of my suspicions was originally the roof. Turns out it was actually going to be the siding, or I think. So I don't know how much a contractor would have charged for this job, but I'd be interested to know. You can, if you have the right tools, which I had to go buy tools, so feel free to donate to my GoFundMe, or at least subscribe to my YouTube channel, and enjoy the video. So my original suspicion for the leak was the shingles here, but I was looking at it, and overall this seems fine. Like, this is not a big deal. These are as they are. They're going to look kind of sloppy. This needs to be replaced, but I'm going to eventually get the house repainted. I'll worry about that then. So on the back side though, you'll see that it's terrible, so that's the most likely culprit, because if you look here, this is what the side should look like. Together, no separation. Yeah, no separation. So this is what you're more so looking for. So here we are on the back side of the chimney at the problem. So years ago, my wife, before I met her and lived here, she had the roof replaced here, which is why we assume that these are probably pretty good down there. But it had to replace. You can see how the boards down here and the bottom ones were replaced. That's where the flashing was. They had probably to tear up the boards to get the shingles in, but above it right here, it's just terrible. And I'm guessing because a water leak is on this side, you can see this, and this is a great place for water to get into. It would love something like this. Now, because it's on top of where the chimney is usually probably not a problem while it's been slow, but if you have a torrential downpour which is raining hard and hitting it, it's just not good. So you can see this is peeling off, it's rotted. So we're going to go with Hardie Plank siding, which is the cement fiber board, and that should hopefully take care of us for a while. So I'm going to start now with tearing it down. Okay, as you can see, I got the first couple boards torn off. So this is where the chimney is. Alright, so you can look down there. Alright, so I don't see any kind of wood rot. Other than this, looks terrible. You can see it's just terrible. Seeing a little bit of water that's seeped into here, looks like. Even maybe not quite so here, but you can see the boards on the other side is a good comparison. So, alright, so there we go. Alright, so here's down where I'm suspecting the water damage. So these boards here look like they're okay. You can see like that insulation is not looking so great, and there's a bottom, so at some point in time we'll probably have someone come here and take care of that. So the water damage is coming from somewhere down there. I can't actually tell from the board, but it could also be coming inside the board. So I'm just going to replace this and hope that it works. Hopefully zoom out just to get an idea. So I cut the bottom boards there. So that's the inside. Okay, to go over what I did here, because I can't really show, I use this tape measure here. But when I measure this, I need to know how long to cut the board. Sorry, I got a bug on me. Anyway, so if you come here, what I did is I put this end, excuse the patio, I know it's messy. Took this in right here, measured across, this is all what length I had. So I had exactly 3.5 inches. And then let's see if I can do this. I pulled this over here, all the way over. It probably won't happen, but now I measured here. So I got 56 and 3/4 is what I have here. So you can line up. So what I did, I'm going to subtract 56 and 3/4 minus 3.5 inches, and that should give me this board here. Now, you might be able to notice right here, there's a little bit of a gap. And let me see if I can show you the measurement on it. So a little bit of like a little area right here where it's like not right there, sorry. Right there. So you know, see those two lines right there? That's 1/8 of an inch. Alright, so it's 1/8 of an inch. And they recommend you leave 1/8 of an inch gap so you can put the caulk in. Of course, I'm going to be doing both sides, so in reality, I need a 1/4 inch gap. So see how this is? So I'll actually subtract that from my measurement also. So this being my first time doing this, of course, I'll run the mistakes. So I might show the last video, and if I did, you'll have seen it, but I actually measured incorrectly because on behind the chimney, the board size is different. So when I measured here, I want to say it was like 53 1/4 inch, but I actually found that I was incorrect for my size. So when I measured originally, and this is a mistake you gotta watch out for, I pulled it here. Let's see if I can get it. Pulled it here. And I can't do it, but I measured it here. Alright, however, if you notice this trim board here, there's nothing here, so it's alright. Let's see if I can get it. Excuse me. There we go. You see, it measures 3.5 inches right here. However, on the other side, which you can't see here, but it is on the other side, you'll see this. So it's 4 1/4 inches long. And I need to cut the board here, which I actually might have put some caulk on this right here. It's looking a little sparse. But so this is where mistakes come in, and this is the engineering aspect, is that when you cut these, especially engineering where you might have very precise instruments, such as this compound miter saw here. Sorry, let me blur it. Compound miter saw, this actually does matter, because even though up there I'm cutting off 1/8 of an inch, and if I'm off a little bit, it's fine, but here, if I'm off 1/8 inch, it completely changes how it's cut. So that's the importance of engineering and tolerances. So here at this point, what I'm doing is I'm looking, so I got my measurement for the board here. I found it's 51 7/8. This is the correct one. This is confirmed with a board I did earlier that is now painted. So you got this rule. I know it's upside down, but we can still use it. So if you look here at these little lines right here, you'll see this is how you measure it. So I'm going by 1/8 of an inch, right? It's 57 1/8. If it's something 16th, I would go by each individual one right here. It's 8, so I go by this one, this one, this one, this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 7/8 of an inch. It'll be where this 4 is right here. If it's like, say, 3/16, I would go not 1, 2, 3. I would go 1, 2, 3. Did you see 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I know the rules with upside down, but I can still read it. So I know I need to make a marking here. So I'll have to get the video off of that because it's got to be precise. But I'm going to move it. Actually, I'm just meant to say I'm going to move it just slightly over because I need to have room for my pencil that I'll be using here, because it doesn't sit directly on the ruler. It sits back just a little bit. And a little bit extra space is not bad for what I'm doing. So thank you. So as you can see, I used the compound square here to make sure I have a good straight line. Now, I don't have it lined up yet. As you can see, it's on the right side, so I'll actually be under of where I need it. So this actually should be at 57 7/8. Hold on one second. So as you saw, I used this compound square right here to ensure I have a straight line. As you can see, it is at 51 7/8. Since it actually goes a little bit over, I'll probably cut directly on the line. I'm not going to go to the left of it or the right of it. I'm going to cut directly on it. And that's important because, and it's also good to make sure I'll have to readjust the board. But you'll see when I come down on this, if I just had it going down, I would be off by a significant amount. So stuff like this does matter. So as you can see, I have it lined up ready to go. I'm going to hit this line, maybe just a little bit to the right, which is fine with me. Alright, and again, this is a compound miter saw. So I'm actually going to come this way, with that full rotation, full speed, full RPMs, and go back this way. And of course it'll be further down when I don't have the board here. And it'll go all the way through. And that's how it works. So first thing I want to do is turn on this vacuum, which remember, this vacuum, this thing's going to be tossing the dust this way, but also the negative pressure created by that vacuum. It's not actually sucking. The air from out here is going to push it into here and out. So let me get that started. We got it pulled out. There's a safety trigger on this. You got to kind of push in because I can't pull it without it. So I'm going to pull it. So full blast. Bam. Perfect. All right, so the next step here is going to be removing this old caulk right here. So caulk is usually like a polyurethane. I'll go a little more into chemistry, but oops, sorry, as you can see, I'm going to scrape it up. It doesn't seem too bad, so that works out perfect. You can see you want it flat and flush like that, so you can put on the fresh caulk, it won't be so bad. All right, the first thing I noticed when they did on this is they did what's called face nailing to put the board in. You can kind of see the nail there. We can see it more so there, which makes sense for what they were doing. They didn't replace the whole thing, so they had to slide it under. As you can see, it moves. So I'm going to place the nail into those, and then I got my first board up here, and I'll start that. All right, the next part I'm about to go to here is setting up a line so that I'm 1.25 inches, that there's 1.25 inches of overlap. So 1.25 inches, remember, show me the eighths. Well, this right here, these big ones are fourths. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it needs to be here. So here's 1 inch, 1 1/4. So it's going to be right here. I'm just marking it so I know where it's at. All right, this here is the chalking tape. You can see it works if I can do it. It has basically chalk that when you snap it, it'll go off. I probably can't demonstrate this one. I have to hold my hand, but you'll see the result in the end. So you can see this is kind of how I held it down. I pull the string across, I pop it, and it leaves the line. That lets me know where to go, because this will wash off with the rain. Right, so a little tip I'm finding is that when I'm trying to get this set, I try and look to make sure my gap seems reasonable. It's not, now it's crooked now because I don't have this one here secured, but I have this one here secured. So I'll adjust it to make sure it goes with that line and is at least reasonably close. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm gonna get there. So what I do is when I have it first here, I set the board on top of this board, and then I lay it flush. I tap it in a little bit. That way when I get it level, because I'll put my level on it. Now you see it's off level, but I'll adjust it to make sure it's right, and then I'll hammer it in. But the first thing I do is get this where it needs to be, nail this in, and then once I nail this in, this is free to move, so I can go, can't really do it here, but it goes up and down. So the last part's gonna be a little bit trickier. So I've gotten all the boards up. They look like they're overall got decent gap in them, enough to fill. It's not perfect, but it's fine. So this part right here is the last part. I'll have to wait. I was waiting till the end to measure it. So you can see it's not gonna go under here. It's actually gonna butt up to right here, or at least I think. But I'm okay with it going a little bit longer. You know, it won't be as, you know, uniform as all this, but you know, if it overlaps, it's not a big deal. No one really sees this side anyways. So I'm measuring to about right here, which is again where it was at, or maybe it was, actually no, I won't say it was about right here. So I'm just going to cut it 5 inches, and I'm going to call that good. If it goes a little bit more, I'm not complaining. So while my wife paints that last board, I'm going to go ahead and begin the caulking process, which is where the whole problem of the water coming in is to begin with, is these boards are rotted, terrible. You can see it's not perfect down here, but it's fine because I'm going to put this stuff in there. So this is called Dynaflex Ultra Advanced Exterior Sealant. It's a silicone based window, door, siding, and trim. You'll see here the thing I told you from the Hardie Plank website, or James Hardie, is look for something that says permanently flexible, which is that. These are generally made of a siloxane, which is like a Si, silicon and oxygen, similar to glass, except it has R groups coming off of it, or methyls, ethyls, and much larger chains, which gives it different properties than, of course, glass. This stuff will have a low glass transition temperature, meaning it's flexible. Stuff with high glass transition temperatures are more brittle. Think of like maybe like a clear plastic poly or clear plastic, like a glass like structure that can shatter. I think they use polybutadiene, I believe, is what they're or no, polyurethane. That's it. That's what they use for it, which is what they use for sponges. So it should be flexible. I think its TG is negative 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I know it's like 200 Kelvin, somewhere in there. So I'm going to start the process here. My wife, this is my first time actually caulking something. My wife has done a lot more, but she's not getting on the roof. So this is going to be my first experience with it. So we'll see how it goes. She gave me some tips and we'll see how it works out. So I'm going to start here at the bottom, work my way up. So the way it looks like you do this here is, oops, sorry, get down there. I'm going to put this in. You'll kind of see it come out a little bit. And as you see it come out, you just slowly bring it up. Sure you get plenty in there. However, this one be extra than not extra. Looks like I'm doing a little bit too much extra. Alright. And what you're going to do is, let me get my paper towel. Silicone will stick. It's hydrophobic, so it doesn't necessarily come off with water. But that's a tip I've seen people use. Alright, so you're going to take it like this. Alright, see, you got a little space there still, so I'll fix that. But use a paper towel. I think it works best, and my wife agrees. So take it off like that. So I'm going to put a little bit more in. Alright, I'm here to the final piece. So I had to kind of do a rough cut on it, but it's fine because I'm going to be putting sealant all the way through here. So it'll be good. So as you can see, I got the sealant on there right now. Not the perfect job, but it's also in the back. Okay, well, I am done with my task for today. I got the silicone caulk on there. Right here, I kind of cracked the board there, but since the board's steady, I decided to just really put a lot of silicone on it. Hopefully it'll work. Maybe not. We'll find out. Need to know how to replace it. I would decide to put caulk over this and the nails. These are outside face nails. The blind nails are underneath, of course. If I need to fix it, I'll come back here, but I'm hoping this will solve the problem. Reapply some caulk elsewhere. And yeah, so it took me a couple days, but really I could have done this all in a day if I had all my tools originally. So it's something you could probably do at your house, do on your own. And again, remember to use the math when you're trying to do this. Before I became a chemist, I used to do a lot of construction stuff. I didn't do like roof construction. I mean, I dabbled in it, took side jobs here and there, but one thing I do miss about working outdoors is, well, the outdoors. And here on this roof, I get to walk up and these gorgeous views and beautiful clouds, and you got the trees right here, and it's just a nice place to be. So definitely don't let, you know, college doesn't have to be for you. It could be you really want the outdoors and you like building things. So again, so learn what you can in school. If you decide not to go to college, that's great, but learn a trade. And people will pay big money to do this. I don't know how much this would cost, but I'd love to hear from a contractor what they think they would charge for something like this.